live and direct from anywhere in the world. It's The Kelley Show with Dr. Kelley Mondesire.
Hello, everyone, and happy holidays to you out there. Welcome to The Kelley Show, real people with real stories in real time. And yes, I am Dr. Kelley Mondesire, your host of my own show, The Kelley Show. And as you can see, I'm dressed up and all ready to go to a holiday party. And we're wrapping up the season 1 of The Kelley Show today, and sharing with you some of our memories, insights, and to recap the season. So today we're going to do something a little different. My maestro behind the curtain, my producer and editor, Mr. Gareth Wax, is going to join me, and we're going to talk about what we learned, who the guests were, and a little bit about how we put together this show. It'll be really a lot of fun, so I hope you'll stay with us. Gareth, come out.
The memo said wear a silly hat, so I've done that, and I'm all decked out like Father Christmas. I hope you enjoy that. There you go.
Yes, you do look like Santa Claus. And Gareth, I love the background because it's like time is a ticking. 2025 is almost here, and I'm really glad your background matches my nice, pretty top.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's just like you said before we were chatting in the green room, a remembrance from City Lights by Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like I'm in the cogs, and I'm sure many of you out there sometimes feel like you're in the cogs. Well, we're going to get out of the cogs and cobwebs down.
Yeah.
And Gareth, I met you in June of this year. I was trying to do this and this and this and this, doing some dry runs of this show with Streamyard, and I realized I couldn't do it. We got together, we talked, and in less than 6 weeks, we recorded our first interview with Lonnie Boyer.
I'm afraid the mask has slipped. Lonnie Boyer, what a trick. What a trick.
Yeah.
Lonnie Boyer.
Yeah. That was amazing. She was very brave to be our first guest. And Lonnie, being a double cancer survivor, her journey, her sharing what she went through was amazing. But she's so joyous and so incredible.
I think she should be a spokeswoman for Hello Kitty. She's absolutely cute as a button. Tiny. You said something the first time she came into your doctor's office, right?
Yeah. She looked just like Tinkerbell. If you put 2 wings on her and gave her a little wand, this tiny, small, little, beautiful person, she's just beauty itself, inside and out. And Lonnie, if you're watching this now, Gareth and I, we love you, and we wish you a happy holiday, you and Kevin. And then we had Sean Brosnan. His day job is time-lapse photography, and he takes these most amazing, beautiful underwater photographs in his spare time. That's his hobby. Can you believe it?
He was saying this is the first time he's actively started to try and monetize.
And if you missed that show, go back. I mean, we were still down and dirty. I was still living out of boxes, just relocated down the south. So I'm disappearing. I'm kind of in and out. But what Sean's work, what he showed, what we had on the show, you should go back and go to the YouTube channel and have a look-see. His work is beautiful. And if you have a gallery you're interested in purchasing some of his artwork, we had his contact information there. So Sean, wishing you a happy, joyous, and prosperous 2025.
I have to say, I've got a big television, and I put up his pictures on there for the family because my daughter loves underwater photography, and we were just commenting on how beautiful, scary but beautiful, because some of it he gets really close to sharks.
Yeah.
The beauty and the majesty of the manta ray that he was swimming with, quite stunning, really, right?
It reminded me of that book, Ashes and Snow, and there was an exhibit, I think it was about 20 years ago or so in New York, Ashes and Snow. It was incredible. And then we had Irina Vodar.
Wow.
Yeah, filmmaker, director, very good friend of mine. I know her for years and years and years. She used to get together with our dogs. We lived in the same building,
Oh,
and the
right.
dogs were best friends. They'd be laying there sharing one bone between them. She would recite Russian poetry to me, and we'd drink vodka, and she would translate the poetry. I mean, she's brilliant. That woman is brilliant. She's got talent oozing out of her.
Yeah.
But her story, her personal journey, going through IVF is almost heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But the film ended up winning several international film awards.
She's completely a class act.
Elegance itself. So Irina, if you're watching, Gareth and I wish you all the best. And when you have another film coming out, you come back and we'll talk about the new film. And I'm sure by that time we'll have 500,000 followers. So that'll be great.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to put a bit of celebration up. How about this? There we go.
Oh, I love it.
There you go.
Yes.
Is that cute?
No, you're talking, except for Gareth, we have confetti on our faces and you got one on your nose. It looks like you've got snots coming out of your nose.
Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe.
No, folks, let's go and see what or who the first three guests said they were grateful or thankful for. Gareth, let's go to camera.
Roll VT.
I'm super grateful to my husband, Kevin. Kevin has really been such a support for me during all of these health issues and unemployment period and all of the things that have happened. So grateful for him and having him in my life.
4 friends and myself cycled from Mizenhead to Mallinhead, which is one end of Ireland to the other end of Ireland. We raised 10,000 euros for charity at the time. I have some physical challenges, I guess you'd call it, with my back, so never thought I would ever be able to achieve something like that. So
I would name Dr. Barad, who's one of the doctors in my film. First of all, I would be grateful for the experience of living through infertility, making this film, and seeing it come to fruition, beginning to catch on fire.
Wasn't that amazing and so surprising what and who they said they were thankful for? Gareth, you got to do something about that snots, that schmutz.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to blow it away and it's gone. They're all done.
Oh, yeah. Snots on, snots off.
Not on.
It was really amazing, what all these people said, who and what they were thankful and grateful for. And it was, wow. It wowed me.
What were the next 3?
Okay. So the next 3, the next 3 guests then we had was Joseph McGuire, the facial analyst. Then we had Maura Clare from Ireland, who's the Queen of Poaching. And then we had Mr. Cameron John Robbins, the gentleman artist based in the United States. And that was a sensational lineup because Joseph read David Bowie's face, and then he read my face.
I had no idea that those features could mean so much. Just the gaps in the teeth, the way the eyebrows are sat on the face, the way the cheeks were, he could tell so much just from that. I remember you telling me that there is a linkage between what he was doing and what you were studied, but you studied and practiced for a long time Chinese medicine. And the methodology he uses is a Chinese-based one as well, right?
Yes. Very, very interesting. And Joseph, what does my face say right now? Kelley's ready to wrap it up. It's the end of the year and go party. That's what my face is saying. Read the room, Joseph. We had Maura Clare, Queen of Poaching.
She's passionate about poaching, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and the smuggling nun. Now I know what those nuns have under those habits.
Quite so.
And if you like Maura Clare's Poaching, it's available in the States on the Smuggling Nun. Maura, peace and love, girl. I love you. I hope to see you either down here or back up in New York City. Wishing you and your loved ones a very, very happy holiday and a prosperous New Year. Hey, send me some of that. Send me some of that poutine. And then the next guest was our mutual friend, Cameron John Robbins, who is the gentleman artist, brilliant artist.
Talented artist in two mediums. Its painting work was outstanding, but my goodness, those sculptures.
Amazing. And you know, he has a project that he'll need a multi-millionaire to fund. However, I've seen what he has in mind for this life-size chess set. Life-size meaning like they're huge pieces, incredible. And what a nice guy. He is really a gentleman. He's a really sweet guy. And you know, folks, if you would like a portrait done, but reach out to him, watch that episode, go to YouTube, watch that episode. You have to see his work. The man is going to be in several museums one of these days. So be smart, invest in Cameron John Robbins now. And Cameron,
Absolutely.
We wish you a beautiful holiday season and a happy New Year. See you in 2025, my friend. Those three had very different ideas of who they were grateful and thankful for. Let's go and see what they had to say. Let's
roll VT.
That would be my late father. My father has been dead for many years, suddenly back in 1987. His influence still resonates so strongly. It's not like I feel his presence, but I feel his influence. He was a man of great character, great integrity, great wisdom, which I didn't always appreciate at the time, unfortunately, but I certainly appreciate it now.
During the pandemic, I realized that I needed to move. And the day I decided to move back, I was reintroduced to a fella I dated when I was 16 years old, David. And we've been together since then, 4 years. I've been single for 2 decades. He has just changed my life so much and been such a great support in every way.
Joseph is one of my very best friends in the world. My parents adopted him. He's actually a brother. Not legally, but in everything but. He was my agent early on. He said to me, he said, "You are not as good as you think you are, but I believe in how good you're going to be." The expression of confidence that he followed it up with is what made it so useful.
Was that cool or what? They were amazing.
I'm just going to pop these balloons. Hang on. Wait. Oh, it's bang. Oof. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I'll bring back some Christmas cheer just soon. Let's crack on.
Okay. You're a Scrooge. Well, then we went and delved into the arts. As the show was progressing, we started to get really, really ramped up. People began to ask us to be on the show. And we started to get really great ideas of future episodes. But these next 3 people were in the arts. We had in order my good friend from Germany, Mr. Peter Knoll, musician.
That's it.
Really well known. Mm-hmm. Then we had Magdara O'Conilla. He is the keeper and the guardian of Irish art, music, and culture. And then to top it off, we had Aaron O'Dowd, who has his own show, his own podcast, The Aaron O'Dowd Show, who is sight impaired and an amazing triathlete. Let's go back to Peter. We played some of his music during the show. What did you think? You're a musician, Gareth.
His stuff is very interesting. He really explores areas I had never considered before. So I think it's some crazy stuff there.
Yeah,
really exploratory.
And did you know that he taught guitar to the Edge's children in New York City? Yeah, he was their guitar teacher for quite some time.
I had no idea.
And he's just a brilliant artist. I've gone to see him play many times in New York City. Peter, Bon Natal, Joyeux Noël, and love and light to you, Jacqueline, and the family. I hope to see you all down here in the South soon. So then we had Magdara O'Conilla. Magdara, amazing guy, comes from where they shot the film, The Banshees of Inisherin.
That's right. You said that right. And I'll tell you what's interesting and what he said, they weren't able to keep the name exactly is. So they changed it from Inisheer is where he is. That's where he was born. That was
right.
That's his, as my daughter would call it, that was his ends. That's where he came from. That's his homeboys were from there.
Right.
But now he does visit, but it's not his main place, man.
Right, and actually they hired McDara for that film as a dialect coach because he speaks the Irish from that area, which was really, really interesting. But he played the Irish drum for us during the show. So people, if you would like to listen to authentic Irish music, check that episode out. And if you would like to take Irish language or music lessons, we had his contact information up during that show. If I knew how to say Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in Irish, I would do that right now for McDara, but I can't.
I'm going to use my AI to play that straight right now.
Okay.
Nalig Hannah.
There you go. How about that?
That was cool beans. Thank you. Got me off the hook. So McDara, in English, we're wishing you and your family and everyone over there in the motherland a happy, joyous holiday and a great new year. I'll see you, my friend. And I did receive my Irish penny whistle in D and my Irish fiddle. Plug your ears because I'm going to learn how to play that. That's my 2025 New Year's resolution. Finally learn how to play the fiddle. Well, I'm going to play it outside while I'm learning this winter, and that'll definitely get rid of the wild boars.
But I was going to say, you will also get rid of your neighbors.
Let's go and see who and what those three were grateful for.
Roll VT.
Meeting my wife, she turned my life around, which was amazing. I had one very spiritual experience in New York City. Around 15 years ago, I was walking through the streets of New York. I was not at a very happy place, and I was thinking, maybe I should move to Los Angeles. And then I talked to a guy standing on the street, and he looked me into the eyes, and he says, "You were just thinking moving to the West Coast." Read my mind. Do every gig, you will be successful eventually. And that kind of changed a lot because
my wife Anna, obviously, she actually changed my life. Didn't know where I was going in life, and when I met Anna, everything's been going great since. And so we fit perfectly and everything. So Anna definitely, and there's a few places on earth, like New York is definitely a place. I love Inisheer, where I'm from. I love Dublin. I love Warsaw, but so they're places that are dear to me.
Holy moly macaroni. I don't even know where to go because so many memories and places are bubbling to the surface. I've had many incredible coaches, many incredible people walk with me. I have a soul family and I have a physical family, and it's all one big family of people around the world. Some have shown me how to get from zero to hero in sport, as well as in podcasting, in business. I live in Spain and I love going to Seville, and I've been to Vienna. Vienna's an amazing spot. Aradan has had some amazing people who walked with him to show him that, hey, you want to do this? This is the school of hard knocks to get where you need to go. There are parts where I wish younger versions of me could have a Lee Tunnyware or a Kelley or a Gareth Wax to quicken and speed the time. They are lessons, and they come because the universe feels he's ready to open the door.
And we're back. Whoa, Gareth, what a nice surprise. Look, I can be Tinkerbell. And imagine my pretty shot.
All right.
I feel like Carol Kane in the film Scrooge when she's the ghost of Christmas past and she goes to Bill Money, boom, with the toaster.
All right. We need to talk about a little bit more about where we've come through all of this.
So what happened was, as the show progressed, and I have to give credit where credit is due here. I wouldn't have known you if not for meeting you online vis-a-vis Lee Tunnyware and his international networking groups. And a big shout out to Lee Tunnyware and his beautiful wife, Roz, who I've met online. And we want to wish you and Roz and all the children a very happy, joyous, safe, and wonderful holiday and a great 2025 season. Lee has been an inspiration to me, has been a mentor and a guide. And I met Lee last year, just when my mother passed. He just guided me to this point of meeting you. And I said, I wanted to put on the Kelley show. And he said, do it, and challenged me to do it. And we did it. And he's been giving me guidance all this time, has introduced me to many of the guests that we will preview and show you folks during this season and next season. But we started to finesse the show. Gareth, it's been your genius, really, that makes the show. And viewers out there, friends, this would not be a show without Gareth. So I'm getting to it. That being said, the next 3 guests we had on the show, we brought out the big guns, and I mean the big guns. Ian Franklin, philanthropist, entrepreneur, Mr. Gareth Wax, who is my editor, producer, master of LinkedIn, master of video production, lovely individual, and I'm honored to call dear friend. And then following Gareth, Ms. Rachel Beck. I have to tell you, my hat is off. If I had a hat, Gareth, don't take that hat off now. Rachel was the most powerful conversation, I think, out of the entire season. I think Gareth, as brilliant as every guest was and powerful as the conversations were, Rachel was just outstanding. I don't know anyone like Rachel Beck.
I'm not sure anyone knows someone like Rachel Beck. If I can be blunt with you, I think she's one of those people that comes once in a generation, and she absolutely blew us both away, actually, with her honest intentioned, positive support, relentless pursuit of helping, and it's quite stunning.
You know, Rachel was kind to reach out to me. Again, a mutual friend, Lee Tunnyware, had asked Rachel if she would reach out to me. And we have so much in common. We had great conversation. We've become friends, but it has been Rachel who has been our champion of the Kelley Show, been our champions as individuals, our individual businesses, Gareth, aside from what we do here on the show, and has been a dear friend to us both. And Rachel has connected me with so many amazing people, and there'll be future guests in season 2. And that leads us to, in season 2, we're going to theme every month. Every month, the 4 shows are going to be about a certain theme. I have started to call this intelligent entertainment with a purpose, because every show has a reason. Every guest comes on with a message, and now every month there will be a purpose and a reason for that month's show. And even if it's not your jam, okay, maybe it's not something you normally wouldn't tune in to watch it anyway, because these are people you should know about. Pass on that show, subscribe, tell people to subscribe to the show, because you know what? It's all about paying it forward and being kind, and sharing intelligent entertainment. You know, this is a great show to sit down and watch at your leisure if you don't catch us live, and say, hey, you know, it opens up conversation. Let's talk about Ian Franklin.
Wow. One of our biggest responses, right?
Yes.
Rachel Beck, absolutely stonking, but no, incredible.
Yeah, an amazing man, philanthropy. He just eats, breathes, lives philanthropy from the heart. He supports several organizations, great causes, all different. And Ian has introduced us to our first guests of the 2025 season. It's a secret, so you're going to have to subscribe and stay tuned. Ian, I want to wish you and your loved ones a very, very happy holiday season. And I hope in 2025, more people will be like you, Ian, and give back and think about what it is to have a place to sleep that's safe and something to eat every day, and how important mental health is. And Ian, we need more people like you out there. So thank you, Ian. Now, Gareth, you got sandwiched in between Ian and Rachel, and those are two big bookends. But you know what, Gareth?
I'm going to celebrate it by doing this.
Well, you were the salami and cheese in between the two. Wow, that is beautiful. Wow. You were the salami and cheese in between the two slices of bread. So wait a second. You told your story, and what a story that was. Adopted. You found your birth father on live Israeli television. You talked about your life being a musician, a brilliant entrepreneur, brilliant with LinkedIn, doing this show and your many different adventures. And Gareth, I am so happy and grateful to have you in my life. I know I said it was somebody else, but I'm also grateful to have you in my life as well. But getting back to you, Gareth, I mean, you were the powerhouse and the drivetrain for the show. And what an incredible story. You have the band, you do your art, you do your music. And I love the fact that this is the way you always get up and get dressed every day. Maybe not the Christmas hat, but there's a different hat going on. But you're such a gentleman. And what I've always said since I've gotten to know you to my friends, and I always talk about Gareth. They thought I got another dog because I'm always like me and Gareth, me and Gareth, me and Gareth. I always talk about how eloquent you are and what a gentleman you are and how you're such a good friend. So thankful.
I enjoy being part of something that gives me joy as well. So it's not entirely about being selfless. What I do this for is because it makes me feel so great to be part of something so enjoyed. Everyone that I've come across that has seen the Kelley Show loves it.
Gareth, you know what my Christmas gift would be? If I could give a Christmas gift to you, it would be full sponsorship for the show so I can start paying you.
Guys, in all honesty, we would both like this to be part of our lasting legacy. If you're finding this as enjoyable as we are finding it to make, then I would like it very much. If you want to be part of this, and there are many sponsorship opportunities here, we have the ability for you to appear above the show, above the credits, effectively, to say that you are sponsoring it. We can do after the initial monologue, there's a space there where we can put out your sponsorship role and why you're part of it. And we can even do a short promo video of you to go out with all the other promo videos saying that you're proud to be associated with it. And all these areas will help us keep this thing going. Obviously, we're doing it on fumes at the moment. It's amazing what we've achieved with so little actual mechanisms in place to achieve it. But look what we've done. There's such a lot we've achieved with so little.
And you see what type of person Gareth is, because while I'm goofing around and he's delivering a serious message, and I'm trying to kind of get the twinkle, like on the cheek. He keeps going and totally ignores me.
I'm trying to get the message across. I want people to see that we're not doing this just because it's fun, but because it has a serious purpose to it. We are bringing people who aren't necessarily famous or fated, or aren't people who are necessarily in the media, and we're trying to bring them these stories to you so you can appreciate there is greatness and goodness and beauty in this world. I'm thankful to be allowed to be part of it.
Ooh, thank you, Gareth. But let's get back to the show here. And Gareth, let's see what you and the other two powerhouses, the big guns, the three big guns of the season, had to say about who or what they're thankful and grateful for. Roll tape.
The screen at the moment is the 7th Earl of Shaftesbury, nicknamed the Social Reformer. He was good friends with people like Bernardo and Charles Dickens. In 1844, Lord Shaftesbury introduced a bill to Parliament to kind of create an education system for the children in England and Wales. Was the start of what is effectively the social and education system that we have today here in the UK. So he's very much an inspiration, I suppose, if you...
My wife, without any word of a lie, I really struggle to understand social cues. When I'm out with her, I find it easy just to follow her lead. It just makes my life possible and practical.
I am a person who's grateful every single day. I'm grateful for my family, for my friends. There's not a day that goes by that I don't have gratitude. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Gareth. I'm working very hard on is bringing back manners and etiquette to this world because I went to etiquette school, so it's really important to me. That's something that's missing in society. And that's something also going back to your question, and I think it's crucial now more than ever that we bring back manners to society.
Well, welcome back. That was amazing. 3 big guns, 3 big powerhouses. And then I decided I want to do my own show because many people have no clue who I am, what type of personality I am behind the camera. And so I thought I would ask one of my guests, Shelley Ann Kilty, who is an attorney from Ireland based in New York, if she would host my birthday show. So the next 3 guests that we had was Shelley Ann Kilty, moi, and Ventela Costa Van Putten, who is the president of Braeburn Whiskey. And that was an interesting mix. So let's get to Shelley. Shelley Ann was delightful. She's a really good friend of mine. She has such a great wit about her and so involved with the Irish arts in New York. And she actually presented an award to the president of Ireland.
What I like particularly about Shelley Ann was she's like a sort of powerhouse. She just doesn't quit. She told me herself, she says one of her best attributes is an inability to stop pushing forward. And I love that. I love that because without meaning anything bad by it, she's a woman, and a woman, even in the modern world, often finds there are more blockages than there are open doors. Yet she didn't let that daunt her. She was a foreigner to those climes. Let's face it, she's from Ireland, but she's living in America. Yet she's managed to push forward and build a successful practice. It's quite astounding. Brilliant work.
And you know, she was gracious and kind to give pearls of wisdom and advice to any young person who would be coming from another country to the United States, and shared her journey and advice to them of what they should look for, look out for, avoid, and offered her advice. We put the contact information up on the show. So folks, you should go back and watch the show of our conversation with Shelley Ann Kilty because it's really great. Every show is wonderful. You can go back to the YouTube channel and watch all the previous shows at your leisure. Subscribe. We have the information we'll put up later if you haven't already gotten the hint clue. But then I asked Shelley Ann if she would be host to interview me. And what was interesting was we had a lot of laughs. That was a lot of laughs behind and in front of the camera. But I shared personal stories I don't normally share with anyone, with you and Shelley Ann. And we found that as different as we all are, we had so much in common. And it got very deep, but very insightful. And the 3 of us, now we have our own little clique going on. So that was great. And then we had my show. Gareth had to split the show up into 2 parts. And it just kept saying, oh my God, oh my God.
Your life seems to have had really interesting stages, all of them completely different. I mean, you go from being a Harley Davidson hog rider all the way through to doing crazy things with a dog. This dog had its own blog, for God's sake.
Yes.
A dog with a blog. And then on top of that, you've become a doctor. Before that, you were behind the scenes running big shows. It's incredible, incredible.
Yeah, and I've got the stories, but I've done quite a bit in my life. I know how to tell a good story, but people think I make this stuff up. But, well, you know, like I always say, heaven doesn't want me and hell's afraid I'm going to take over. So I'm stuck here with the rest of the idiots. Closing out the season, prior to this wrap up, we had my dear friend Taylor Costa Van Putten, who's the president of Brayburn Whiskey, and he talks about whiskey as a commodity to invest in, just as you would invest in your portfolio, say art or gold or stocks or whatever. He talked about that.
The returns on that kind of on that quite amazing.
Amazing. Shoot, man, you know, like amazing. Who would think? And I've been privileged to be in attendance at a few of his events in his atelier in New York City. And I have to tell you, it's stunning. It's gorgeous. He is amazing. He's a wonderful gentleman, a great, great fellow, brilliant, so nice. He's just such a nice guy. And we learned so much about whiskey as an investment. So, you know, to Shelly Ann, I don't know if you're going back to the motherland for the holidays, but if you do, I wish you a safe journey. And hey, the door's open down here in South Carolina when you get sick and tired of New York winter weather. Come down, spend a week down here, and we'll have some good chat.
The Irish expression for good luck and good health is sláinte.
Sláinte. I know that word, sláinte.
There you go.
I took an Irish workshop at the Atlanta Irish Arts Fest, and I learned Canas Ata Tu. That means, how are you? I go back to school, he says.
I'm good.
We're wishing you all the best, Shelly Ann, you and your family, and Taylor. Taylor, I want to wish you and your family a beautiful holiday, you and your lovely wife. Let's go see what all three of us had to say about who or what we're grateful for. Roll it.
VT.
I am very grateful for my Granny Staffords, and sadly she's no longer with us. Well, not in person, but I definitely feel her guidance. I wouldn't be where I am today were it not for Granny. She certainly provided an example of how to live one's life. The love that she provided to me provided this sort of protective force field for me and was the wind in my sails throughout my life.
I am very grateful to my mother, Margaret. She was an incredibly gifted, talented, beautiful, strong woman. You think I'm crazy, you should see my mother. She makes me look like Tinkerbell. I adopted Suki. That's my Suki. I adopted Suki after she had been bounced from pillow to post 7 different homes, and that's our adoption day, me hugging her in the overalls. But Suki became my constant companion, my best friend. I
always will have to give a special shout out and express my gratitude for my lovely wife, Leda. She's been enormously impactful on the arc and the trajectory of my life since we met almost 4 years ago now, from changing the way that I see and interact with the world and people and value relationships with others, the way that I prioritize work and career, and how I want to continue to develop myself over the years together. I have been very blessed to have learned so much from my wife, Leda. So I'm extremely grateful that she's in my life.
We're back, and to all our viewers and our subscribers, I want to wish all of you a happy, safe, healthy, joyous holiday season. And for those who are struggling during this time, please, there are many resources out there. Seek mental health services. Don't be depressed. Don't be alone by yourself. Look, I've been in countries where they don't celebrate Christmas, and I did it intentionally one year because I had no one to share the holiday with. And that was okay. But I learned something from the experience, and that was how to be alone on a holiday, a traditional holiday, without feeling left out or I was missing out of something. And to tell you the truth, this Christmas, I'll be by myself once again. I can be by myself on Christmas and be okay with that, because it's just really another day. It's really nice to share a holiday with friends and family, neighbors, or donate your time. But it's also a nice day to just shut the computer off, listen to some music, and do something good for yourself that you haven't had the opportunity to get to. Read a nice book, make yourself a nice dinner, but be happy, be joyous, because we only get one shot that we all know of in this life. So let's do the best we can and be the best people we can be. And the bottom line, as Rachel Beck, shout out again to my dear friend Rachel Beck, be kind, be nice, have manners, be polite. Politeness and manners and kindness counts. So, Gareth, come back here. Don't walk away on me. You're not done. You're not done working yet. Gareth, do you have anything else to add to that, my friend?
It takes 2 minutes to look around you at the people in your life and just open your eyes a bit wider and see who needs your support, who is reaching out without reaching out. Because not saying the words, I need you, doesn't mean they don't support. Ask around, just make yourself available. It costs very little. And I would say, appreciate your friends. Turn to your friends, find ones that perhaps you haven't spoken to recently, and just tell them you do love them, you still miss them, and they are part of your life. I think it's at this time of year, it can be the loneliest time. If they are by themselves, just knowing that you're touching their heart even a little bit will pay dividends in the long run for both of you.
Amen to that. Well said, my friend. Always eloquent, elegant, the perfect gentleman, my dear friend, Mr. Gareth Wax. And for anyone out there who owns a business and would like to sponsor our show, we're going into season 2. Yay! We've got amazing guests coming onto the show in 2025. I've got the production schedule in the works. I'll get to it, boss man. But however, every month is going to be a different theme, and I'll give you a hint clue. I'm not going to tell you who's on the show because you're going to have to subscribe and watch the show. That's the deal. We're going to have giving back, agriculture, art, travel, a little bit more about our veterans, our global veterans, all about children. We've got a lot, amazing people, influencers, and not just movers and shakers in the business world, but movers and shakers in thought. Reaching out to any philanthropist who would like to support the Kelley Show, sponsor the show, either all or in part. We're open to conversation. You know how to reach me. To sign off, I want to wish everyone a very happy and joyous holiday season. Let's get 2024 out of the way, out the door. Gareth, I don't know about you, but you look like you're ready to party. Gareth, take it away.
If you would like to be a guest on The Kelley Show, send us an email with your contact information, where in the world you are, and a brief description of the story you'd like to share today.